All right, Munsties, we're back. We just saw the movie. Where do I even begin with that? That was a lot to take in. It was only like 113 minutes, but so much happened in that time. I heard people online saying that the first half of the movie was really boring. I guess maybe you could say the human scenes were slower, but I mean, even then, there was constantly something going on. Transporting Kong, the battle. Yeah.
Pre-battle.
You know what? Hold on. So, Godzilla won? That's what we should be talking about right now. Godzilla won.
Godzilla won the title match.
Godzilla won the title match.
However, there was.
But then
there's some WrestleMania stuff that happened there where extra people kept coming in.
Yeah.
But they make a good team. Let's put it that way.
They formed the Avengers. Yeah, and then. But.
I like to comment that Godzilla does like to spam his gun attack. He was a little. He wouldn't be a fun thing to fight. Because he's just like laser. You know
right,
I mean?
Yeah. No, you have a really good point, because in the first, the 2014 movie, Godzilla was constantly tired because he didn't have enough nuclear energy, but here he was just like, infinite ammo.
Yeah, even in the last one, he wasn't, what's the proper name? Laser breath?
Just, atomic heat ray or whatever they call it, yeah, something like that. Okay, so, regarding a lot of stuff going on here,
way to sum it up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Godzilla has a history of crazy things happening in the movies. There was one movie where literally aliens came down and abducted Godzilla and took him to a different planet and had him fight King Ghidorah on a different planet. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
I haven't.
No.
Was it in the cartoon?
No, it wasn't. No,
that
was the one. Yeah.
If it wasn't Ferris Bueller or the cartoon, I didn't see that one.
Right, yeah.
Which sounds like a made-up thing.
And so, there's all these crazy things, and looking back, having grown up on those movies, I'm glad to have them, but I really thought we were past that era of crazy stuff, and having this whole Hollow Earth thing, as amazing as it was, and I'm glad we got to experience the Hollow Earth adventure, I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to the actual monsters in the fact that the monsters themselves should be a selling point. You don't need the Hollow Earth. You don't need. This doesn't go just for Hollywood. This goes for the Japan movies too and everything. Japan, yes, all of Japan comes together to make these movies. Good one, Giant Musties there.
Like the Olympics.
Like the Olympics.
It's the Monster Olympics.
Right. So I'm glad we have this, and I loved every moment of Godzilla and Kong fighting, and just even their own scenes and stuff.
It was really well choreographed.
It was, yeah, I agree with that. But the fact that we had to be doing this whole other sci-fi adventure of exploring, apparently Kong's ancestors are smarter than humans, or at least, I mean, because they could build these weird, like, I don't want to say nuclear towers, but hollow earth towers underneath ground with giant gateway doors and symbology statues and stuff.
They didn't really explain that, but I guess maybe they're just trying to leave a little bit of an air of mystery, because they did hint at some things, like they mentioned the hollow earth thing lightly in one of the past movies.
Yeah, the most recent one, yeah.
But they didn't really explore it, so now they explored it. So maybe if they keep making movies, I assume they would, they'll just keep like adding things and explaining it when it's proper. I don't feel like it was overdone. I thought it'd be very interesting. It gave it sort of an adventure aspect to it, and you kind of got to see Kong doing something else than fighting. I mean, he did, of course, kill two monsters immediately, but it gave him some backstory, because none of the monsters really have one. Kong is obviously, I think, the most human-like one that I'm aware of.
Right, yeah.
So it's kind of neat that it can make sense that he gets the backstory, because he's the most relatable in a way.
Right. Yeah, it was. I think it was definitely satisfying. I'm not still 100% sure how I feel about the ancestor thing, but yeah, just the idea of him getting to find like his home or something, or whatever.
Right, because he kept talking about it.
Yeah.
And I assumed it was his island. I didn't.
Yeah. But you're right though. Godzilla and the other monsters are really just monsters. They don't. I mean, in the last movie, they did have like that. What you called was Atlantis, or something like that. But it had paintings of Godzilla and stuff, so maybe he has a little bit of a history too, but...
Maybe.
Yeah.
But of course he's not human, so can you really relate to him? It's tough. Maybe you can, because you are a giant musty.
I'm a giant musty. Anyways, yeah, so anybody watching this is going to think that I'm high on myself, like, he's giant musty. He's, I don't talk about myself like that. He does. He talks about me like that, but I don't. But, yeah, so... I was surprised that Kong actually lived through this, because, as I told you, Kong has a history of normally almost always dying in his movies. I mean, not in Kong Skull Island, obviously, but in the original one, he fell off the building. In the remake, he fell off the building. In the other remake, he fell off the building.
Yeah, okay. Well, technically, he did die.
Well, he didn't flatline. His heart was just getting weaker, and they kind of revived him or whatever. But
you're right. I don't know. I assume that he died because
without human intervention, yes, he would have died. But it was funny, because the director said that there was going to be a clear winner, and then we walk out of the theater and the crowd was debating who actually won still, because they're like, yeah, Kong lost, but then he beat Mechagodzilla, who was beating Godzilla, so technically it all evens out.
I heard a lot of literally the monkey won. The monkey did it. So
especially in the bathroom.
Did you have to say it like that?
I did. I mean, nothing inappropriate. Just went to the bathroom.
It's just a local thing. It's a local flavor. You go in the bathroom, you hear about the monkey winning. It's just what we do.
It was the most exciting thing in the movie theater right now. So everybody was talking about Godzilla versus Kong in the bathroom.
That's true. Well, as you can imagine, everybody went to the bathroom afterwards. I'm not making it any better. Let's stop talking about the bathroom.
Okay, right, yeah.
Let's move past it.
Right. So yeah, I saw that the director was talking about moving forward. He wants to see. He says that the audience really needs to, I guess, support this if they want to continue the MonsterVerse. I'm skeptical whether or not they're going to continue it. Like I said, each movie in the MonsterVerse has made less and less money, especially with COVID right now. However, I did see online that rumors that HBO Max might want to do something like, since HBO Max is partnered with Warner right now, and they're doing a whole bunch of exclusive content and stuff. So there's always a chance that they could do a spin-off movie or TV series of the MonsterVerse strictly on HBO Max or something for the future. That's just a little fun fact I was throwing out there.
A TV series could be interesting. As long as it's not strictly like a Monster of the Week kind of thing,
A Monster of the Week,
shows that. I can't think of an example at the moment. Maybe Star Trek, I don't know. But there's just like a problem every time. So maybe like a good series where maybe, a villain monster gets a couple, like half a season or whatever. I don't know, just an idea. Completely off topic, I know, but you just mentioned it. I thought of it.
No, I don't know. I don't put too much stock into the rumors, but it was just an idea that I kind of spawned my HBO Max theory off of. But I mean,
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah. But I was surprised to find out that in the beginning they were saying that Rodan was deceased. I thought we were going to see Rodan and Mothra maybe return for this, but apparently they're gone, or at least people think that they're gone. I don't know.
Well, that's complicated because of the whole brain robot thing. That's hard to explain.
Yeah, I mean,
he was turned into a supercomputer, and then he took over Mechagodzilla.
I mean, yeah, Mechagodzilla usually does turn into a villain in the movies and stuff, or he always is a villain. He's a bad robot usually.
That's true, but it was specifically Rodan's brain that was driving it.
Oh, that was Ghidorah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was the final head that they saved at the end credit scene of the last movie.
You're right. I mixed up the names.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, you still think
I'm not worthy.
This is coming from the guy who thinks Godzuki's the greatest thing ever invented.
I don't think. I know. I have evidence.
Right. Yeah.
Hopefully that's what the HBO Max series is about. That's what I want to know.
Right.
Maybe make it like a murder mystery.
Like who
killed Godzuki?
Who killed Godzuki? Right. Yeah. And so, let me think here. One cool, interesting analogy is, or maybe symbolism that I picked up on, was in the original Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla movie. It took Godzilla and another monster to take down Mechagodzilla, and so it wasn't the same monster that he teamed up with this time. But once again, they kind of paid homage to Godzilla needing King Kong to bring down Mechagodzilla. Mm-hmm. I know you don't follow this stuff that much, but as a hardcore Godzilla fan, I'm really not that much of a fan of Mechagodzilla's design in this movie. I just thought he kind of looked, what do you say, derpy in the face. He looked too boxy. I don't know.
The whole design was just weird. Everything that was futuristic had like that Tron look to it, and then he had sort of like an emo Tron look to it, like red and black. I mean, it's something that would have looked good like in the 2000s,
Right.
Like maybe like a Creed music video, but it seems dated design, I suppose. It seems too complicated, also. I get that it's supposed to be futuristic, but it wasn't believable, maybe is what I'm getting at.
So that's an interesting point that you bring up here is...
Glowing eyes, what purpose does that serve if you're trying to make a killer robot? Anyways.
No, because I said in my previous videos, not that everybody watches them, but
Wait, put yourself down, man.
Right, thank you.
Everybody watches it.
Yeah, so, but I had talked about how, like, Godzilla 2014 was so serious, but then Godzilla 2019 I felt like jumped the shark and went so completely crazy and stuff with everything being over the top. But honestly, I found myself thinking this movie made 2019 look grounded in reality compared to, I'm trying to think of some examples. Like we talked about the Kong heritage and stuff, but the whole Mechagodzilla thing, I kept looking at you and saying, there's got to be aliens involved in this, because in the original Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, if you remember, Mechagodzilla was created by aliens.
Okay, so it's not human creation. That makes sense.
Right, in the original one, yeah.
Gotcha.
But I'm thinking, I'm trying to suspend my disbelief, because I know, like, in the last movie, they had this giant airplane ship and stuff, and then in this movie, they have, hovercraft things and stuff that they can fly into the Hollow Earth with.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, the global economy had to be, like, absolutely destroyed after building the last movie, because, like, all those cities got attacked by the monsters, and now we're building, like, Space Age .3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to suspend my disbelief and just enjoy the ride.
That's true, yeah.
And like I said, I was really hoping we were past this era of Godzilla movies, because I think Godzilla and King Kong have the right to stand in their own films and be taken seriously, at least for more than one movie. Like I said, after the Godzilla 2014, they kind of just went, screw it, let's just go all crazy, which is fun in its own right. But yeah, they're building tunnels in Antarctica down to almost to the core of the Earth, or was it from Antarctica the whole way over to Hong Kong, I guess, or whatever? I
think those were, of course it wasn't explained, because
those were different sections.
Those were like transport things, I think.
Oh, okay.
The thing that they rode that had the eggs on it, I guess.
Okay, but they got into that from Antarctica, though, right? Antarctica.
No, well, but there's two different things. There's the thing that the girl from Stranger Things was on.
Yeah.
That was like a transport vessel. She got in that, I think, Florida, or wherever she lived, and ended up in Hong Kong.
I completely missed that. Oh, man, my credibility
just went down. Because remember, she broke in there with that guy?
Yeah.
Because they went to the place where the attack was at the beginning.
Oh, man, yeah, I remember.
And then they snuck through the facility, which, by the way, their security sucks. If you apparently want to break into a government facility, just watch the movie. Nobody guards anything.
Right, yeah. There wasn't even a camera in the hallway or anything that they had to hide from, but...
No, it took them till...
But they still took time crawling through
later before they got caught.
But they still took time crawling through the vents. They came up through that vent, and you're like, oh, this feels like Star Wars right now.
No one's seen. But yeah, and anyways, the Antarctica thing, was like a ton. It could have been like a cave, though, at the same time that was just reinforced, but you get it. The one was most likely artificial.
Yeah. So yeah, Godzilla actually won. I mean, I predicted that. I wanted Kong to win, and did you predict Kong would win?
I wanted Kong to win, but I thought that Godzilla's arsenal was just too much.
Right.
Going in without any new information. The gun, he has a laser mouth.
Right. Yeah.
You can't really pass that up. Now the axe was a twist, but axes versus guns.
Right. So, the interesting thing was, at the bottom of the Hollow Earth, apparently in this Kong throne, they had Godzilla painted into the floor with that radioactive glowing blue stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, people were talking before about theories about, is this axe made out of one of Godzilla's dorsal plates?
It sure looked like it.
That's what it looked like.
And it seemed to be powered by it, too, because it blew whenever he was doing the laser stuff upstairs.
Yeah, so,
charged by it, too.
But speaking of things being over the top, though, there was some over-the-top stuff that I absolutely love, like the idea that Godzilla would just stand in Hong Kong and blow a hole down into the center of Earth and then just scream at him, and then he was just like, what's up? And they just continued the fight.
He had a yelling match from China to
the center of the Earth.
The center of the Earth.
I loved that. That was awesome. But there was that thing before the movie started. There was that a phone app or something called Noovie, or Noovie or something like that?
Yeah, you talked about the survey.
Yeah, but they actually had a poll on there that said about, there was a survey, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but the majority of people actually voted for Kong winning, I think it said.
It was like 52 point something for Kong.
Yeah,
and 47 point something, and then, obviously the
so
missing numbers.
Apparently the general public voted against us, unless, I'm not, no disrespect to Noovie, but I don't know how they work, but unless that was a fake poll or they did to throw off the audience, I don't know.
Well, who's even heard of them, They might have pulled like 3 people.
Oh man, I'm gonna get sued for libel or something for talking bad about them. No, I don't know.
They have to watch your video first.
Yeah. yeah. People have to actually share this or whatever. If you want to see me get sued, share this video.
Incentives.
Right. Yes. So I'm actually thrilled that both of them continue living. Like, if they do continue the MonsterVerse, the possibilities seem endless. I thought Universal was going to want their rights back and start doing their own reboot and do a more grounded 20-foot tall Kong reboot or something. But no, apparently they're okay with Legendary cashing in and doing the work for them, as long as, you know, they get part of the profit or whatever, keeping the brand alive that way. And I love seeing Kong fight Mechagodzilla, because there's been, 7 or 8 Kong movies now, depending on which ones you count. And the vast majority of those are just remakes of the original stuff. And so there's hardly ever any new plot. There was one where he had a kid and a wife. there was a
that sounds made up.
No, there really was. It was called King Kong Lives, and he got a heart transplant after falling off the Empire in the previous movie. 10 years later, they kept him on life support for 10 years and then bring him back to life.
When was this movie?
This was like in the early 80s or something.
That's when it was made.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That does sound like something from the 80s.
It had who was the woman from Terminator, the first 2 movies or whatever, who played Sarah Connor?
Yeah, I was going to say Sarah Connor. I don't know her name.
And so, yeah, it was great to see Kong fight Mechagodzilla, because I don't know if that would ever happen again in a different film, or just a whole different plot. And like I said, the whole Hollow Earth thing, just a new experience. Speaking of the Hollow Earth, yeah, and the unbelievability of it is where I asked you in the theater, where's the sun at in the center? Is it the core of the Earth floating and glowing, maybe, or whatever? But then again, they had a sonar map or something of it earlier, and they didn't show anything in the Hollow Earth. It was hollow, you know. But I guess it would kind of make sense to have like a floating core mantle in the middle of the Hollow Earth, a small one maybe, or whatever.
It was difficult to understand, and it was disorienting, because once you came to the drop, I wasn't sure which way was up or down anymore.
I kind of loved that aspect of seeing like ground on both sides, but it wasn't presented.
No, that was cool. That was cool.
It wasn't presented well. Yeah.
The whole sun thing was a question. Where is the light coming from?
Yeah.
That's a very good question. And then of course you don't find out which way is up or down until the laser comes to the floor.
Right. Yes.
Instead of the sky, which was surprising.
Right. Yeah, and I don't understand that when they go through the tunnel and stuff, the hollow. The HEAV vehicles, the anti-gravity vehicles.
I just remember the name.
Oh, but when they travel down this tunnel, it's like they go into like light speed warp for some reason. I don't understand why, but like everything goes black. All the light stretches past them, and then everything goes black. I don't understand that either. But
it reminded me of 2001: A Space Odyssey. There's a point where some scene like that happens, and there's all these crazy colors that fly past the person. It's supposed to be some enlightening moment. It was the same effect, but obviously a different situation.
I wanted both monsters to win, but whenever Godzilla won, I was going to be disappointed no matter what and whoever lost. But whenever Kong lost, I was like, oh no! I wanted to scream down in the middle of the theater and stuff, but I was trying to refrain myself. There was a few people in our audience there who was wound up a little bit too much. I don't know if they were drunk or what, but that one guy was just same guy who thought the monkey won. He was just like screaming in the theater the entire time.
There was that kid that like was doing that weird stuff.
He was trying to be like his dad, I think. If that was the same family, I don't know. But
it could have been.
Yeah.
Somebody behind us.
Yeah, so just to recap, I feel like this is obviously a movie I need to see multiple times as a Godzilla fan, just to know where I rank this in the list. But as for the current Hollywood ones, I enjoyed this a lot more than the last one. I don't know, but it was still so over the top. I don't know if I can rank it above Kong Skull Island or the Godzilla 2014 movie. So it's not my least favorite, but I don't know. But the parts that I really enjoyed about it, I enjoyed more than any of the other recent Godzilla movies from Hollywood. But what did you think of this compared to the ones that you watched over the past couple nights?
I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. I was able to appreciate it since I didn't have so much invested. I don't know everything that's going on. And I thought the ending was interesting because no matter which side you picked, you won, and you got to watch them beat somebody else up pretty severely. They made a good team after how much hatred they apparently had in rivalry for years.
For years, like they had. Oh yeah, in those. Yeah.
They mentioned the ancestors had a rivalry, but I'm assuming that they probably did too because they recognize each other right away.
Yeah. But like they said kind of earlier in the film, what do you call it? The neuro memories or whatever that you pass down from generation to generation and stuff, even without seeing something. Like birds just know their navigation or whatever based on history or whatever.
Yeah, like instinct, right?
Yeah, kind of like instinct. Yeah, but it's a little bit different, but it's similar. Yeah, it's
a supercomputer.
Yeah, I still don't. I agree. I don't understand how King Ghidorah's skull was able to power Mechagodzilla or something. I don't understand that, but
so I guess that means that the the evil guy from the last one.
I guess he's gone. Yeah.
He must be gone, but he bought that head and sold it to them.
I guess so. Yeah.
Was that even the same group? No.
No, I don't think it was the same group. No, that's a good point. Yeah, that didn't really go anywhere. I don't understand why they couldn't just had been the same organization, or maybe the actor didn't want to return, and so they just thought we'll just ignore him or something. But
that's possible because I haven't seen a lot of actors
return for the series
except for the
Millie Bobby Brown from the last one. Yeah,
it's very good. You like reading my mind. You got like the neurotubes.
It's like I've seen these movies before.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But no, you said that. So you felt like they kind of played it safe, in that no matter what, both sides have something satisfying. But if you look at it from like a purely animal instinct perspective or whatever, there was that one part where Godzilla was literally on top of Kong and was just like, submit to me right now, and then Kong screamed back and he just like crushed him one more time and stuff, and he was just like, you're my,
and he did that thing where like he shook his head and then turned away as he walked away.
Yeah,
it's almost like he didn't mean to kill him. I don't
know, it was almost like he was kind of walking away thinking, I don't care if you live or die, you're under me no matter what. So
I know that I'm better than you. I put you in your place.
Yeah.
So, side note, I thought that Godzilla could sure take a beating, but Kong was, I think, the better fighter.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It's just that the endurance won. This case.
Right, yeah.
He took so many shots to the head from both of them.
Wait, Kong took shots in the head, or who took shots?
Godzilla. He got punched in the head so many times.
I mean, Godzilla's already full of so much, I hope this isn't controversial to say, but brain damage. It's like, it really can't get worse for him. In the original King Kong vs. Godzilla movie, they had this one scene where they hold up, like, a marble, and they're like, this is Godzilla's brain, and then they hold up, like, a grapefruit or something, and they're like, this is Kong's brain. And then, so it's kind of implied that Godzilla's supposed to be pretty stupid, but at the same time, he seemed to be aware and picking up on like social cues that Kong was putting down, so he has some intelligence.
Yeah, he's smart, but just not as smart. It's a different kind of intelligence, Kong can make tools, and Godzilla still knows how to fight in his style. So
right, but my point was that, so I don't know. In that way, whenever I saw Godzilla like just owning Kong, I felt the hurt there. I could see Kong fans being upset about that, but I mean, they did give both of them time to shine and everything. And
yeah, let's put it this way: there were 3 rounds. Godzilla won the first one, but I don't think that was fair. King Kong won the second one, and then Godzilla ultimately won the third.
Wait, why was the first round not fair?
Godzilla attacked him when he was in water.
He attacked him on his turf.
Yeah, Godzilla had a little deep.
And then on land, it was on land where Kong was a little bit faster too and stuff, able to jump across buildings and stuff. And
it's true, but he still had laser mouth. That is
one. Yeah, he had laser.
It is. He can hit him from like he could blow through half the earth.
Yeah.
That's a heck of an advantage.
Right. Yeah, I found it pretty cool where when they were fighting and they were sinking underwater. The tail was wrapped around like a snake around Kong, almost just dragging him underneath water and just choking him out pretty much. I like that, little details like that.
Right, it's like you're trying to drown him.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I just never. I don't think
dishonorable.
He's fighting below the belt. Yeah.
Yeah, that just yeah. You called it.
Right. But yeah, it was pretty cool where. In terms of, I had never seen in any previous movie where Godzilla used his tail other than to swing and hit things as like a choking weapon or anything like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. But
it's like you learned it from one of the previous monsters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the previous movie, King Ghidorah briefly choked out Godzilla. So. Yeah.
But I might have been confusing that with the Kong skull because I think that monster definitely choked King Kong.
Right.
The brain thing.
So moving on from that, to wrap up things real quick here, what do you think about the CGI? There was moments where I was really stunned at how beautiful the CGI was. It really looked real. But then there was tons of things where it was just like, yeah, it's passable CGI, but it's very cartoonish. Also.
Yeah, I almost wonder if they did it on purpose. Like, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but there was one specific scene where I think it was Godzilla almost looked like he was like a rubber suit character. And I wondered if they did it on purpose, because it was like kind of like very like choppy.
Okay, I know what you mean.
It could have been like a throwback. I don't know. some places, some franchises will do that. If they're old, they'll try to make certain scenes like, oh, I remember when he did like that. It wasn't a big deal that it did that. It didn't change the story at all.
I don't know the exact scene that you're talking about, but I feel like in the past movies I've seen certain things. That might just be a budget issue. Maybe they just ran out of time working on that specific scene or whatever.
Yeah. But I agree with you. The CGI did look good for the most part.
Yeah, it was definitely passable, definitely entertaining. And there was a few brief moments where I thought it was something truly special with the CGI, but that wasn't the case for the entire thing. For the music, the music really caught me off guard during this movie. It was from the very opening scene where they're playing some oldie song where Kong's like in La La Land or whatever, and that threw me through a loop because it was okay in itself, but as the introduction to Kong being like that in this movie, it was really jarring. It took me off. But there was plenty of other opportunities where Kong had his moments, and I think that corrected the vibes that the movie was giving off for Kong. Also, speaking of which, I was totally wrong. I said this was Godzilla versus Kong. I felt like it was Godzilla's movie. I think this was actually King Kong's movie because it felt like we were following him, and then Godzilla just kept intercepting him throughout the various points of the movie.
Yeah, Godzilla was portrayed as the villain up until you figure out what was going on. So I think that might have been because Kong was the savior. He was going to protect us from Godzilla / give us time to build our ultimate weapon, and then it was like, oh, surprise! And then it kind of became both of their movies at that fight. After the fight, really. Yeah. But 100%.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert, but Godzilla was kind of the villain in the original King Kong versus Godzilla movie also. But,
no.
Yeah. And then for the writing aspect itself, it's pretty much as I expected. I don't think the human characters were quite as unbearable as the last one, where the female antagonist in the last one, where she wanted to Millie Bobby Brown's mother in the last movie. I thought she was terrible. Not the actor, but her character. Mm-hmm. And then her redeeming qualities weren't worth it. There wasn't anything quite that bad in this movie, I don't think.
It's the one daughter.
The one daughter?
Yeah, she hasn't been crushed in that ship. The villain's daughter who shows up with the ships.
Oh, yes. You were saying daughter, and I was thinking somebody like Millie Bobby Brown's age. I was like, I have no idea. But no, yeah, it was a grown daughter, yes. Yeah. Yeah, we clapped whenever she got killed.
Yeah, she was obnoxious.
Hey, let me just insert here real quick. There's a lot of talk online about how the human characters are really bland. I partly disagree with that. The little deaf girl was incredibly bold portrayal here. I think it was really well done in conveying the bond between her and Kong. We've had in previous Godzilla movies where certain humans or certain beings have a bond with certain kaiju, like Mothra, and to have the bond be through feeling a pulse, whether it be in the water, a roar underwater, just a heartbeat, I think was conveyed very well.
Did you see this yet, Musties? How are you planning on seeing it? Did you see it in theaters? What was your experience in theaters like, especially coming back from COVID and everything like that? Did you feel safe? What was it like? What are your predictions for this movie? Were you right about your predictions about who would win? What are your predictions of how much profit it'll earn? Like, will it continue the MonsterVerse? Will it be strictly on HBO Max, or will we have another sequel in theaters? I don't know, just share some thoughts. Thanks for watching. Giant Musties, Big Musties.